Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Mike, and thanks, Harvey. As I said, I'm going to be quite brief today. I don't actually have any slides other than this one and a follow-up one. Mainly, I wanted to walk you through the look and feel of what it is like to use DocuSign. A slight caveat, just because you use our product, it doesn't mean that the document you're sending out is GDPR compliant, which is obviously where you need to be working with FileOM and making sure that you are regulated in the industry. We can completely help with the transaction and make sure all of the data that you're collecting is easily, securely collected, it's found, it's safe. But yeah, definitely leverage the consultants in the industry like FileOM to make sure that you're getting all of the information that you need. So from a DocuSign point of view, we've been around just over 14 years globally. I'm hoping some people have already heard of us. We are an e-signature management tool, so ultimately we help you gain e-signatures within the industry. And we have a complete global presence. So we're in 188 countries at the moment. So if you're like me, attend a lot of events both locally in the UK, but also across Europe. It might be that a lot of the suppliers that you're transacting with are in either different states or different jurisdictions or different territories. DocuSign is completely legal in all of these different territories. So you can transact on our platform knowing everything is completely safe, secure, and legal for your document. We're also a leader in the industry. I know Arvi touched on it slightly. So luckily for us, we have over 300,000 customers that are paying for our product and using us all the time now. But then we also have around 200 million users, which is pretty incredible. So it just means if you are using our product and you're going to start transacting with your suppliers and with people, it's very easy to use, and they're more than likely that have used us before and can very easily understand that. So I am just going to take you through a quick demo. If you wanted to make me present a mic, that would be perfect. Thank you very much. So I'm hoping everybody can see my screen now. But this is actually the DocuSign interface. So this is how it looks like for myself within DocuSign. Your company can be completely branded, both colors, logos, text. Everything you see in front of you will not be blue with DocuSign. It will be however you want to position and send this out into the industry. It's a very simple dashboard. This is obviously within the web portal, but we also have a mobile device, tablets, anything that you want to be able to transact whilst going on the move is completely supported with DocuSign. So I'm going to be very simple. We're just going to send out an envelope, and we're actually going to take that document that Arvi just walked us through, and I'm going to show you very simply how we send it. It's currently saved to my desktop, so I'm going to take it from the desktop, but ultimately these documents can be saved anywhere, whether it's in the cloud, whether it's in your SharePoint, whether it's in a box folder, Dropbox, Google Drive. It's completely agnostic, and we actually have hundreds of integrations into other ISVs where your documents can be stored, sent out, signed, and returned using DocuSign. So you can see now in the top left-hand corner, the document that we've just walked through is up there. And here we can add the additional recipients that we want to send the document to. I'm going to start by just typing in my own name. And then we can also add multiple recipients below that. So I'm going to send it to Joe Smith. And for both people, I need them to sign. So we could change that to maybe just receiving a copy if it needs to go to your manager. It might be that we need them to view something different, but ultimately for this demonstration, I'm going to ask everybody to sign the document. We could also set the signing order. So what this means is we want it to go in numerical order to different people. So it might start with myself. I might then want to check it over, sign it, send it to my supplier. I'd like them to sign it, check it over, and then we can route it to anywhere else, including the completed copy. From this, DocuSign will be sent via an email. So all the text that I'm writing in this box at the bottom now is literally what will come through as an email. So this is how when I receive the email, I'll open it up. I'll see please review and sign, or please look at the contract and let me know, so on and so forth. We can then add additional options, so asking people to follow up if you haven't heard anything for maybe 3, 4, 5 days, and we can automate reminders so it stops you having to chase people down. DocuSign will automatically do that for you. And then very simply, we're just going to click next in the top right-hand corner. So from the document that Avi just walked you through, I actually know that page 8 is where the document needs to be signed. So using the thumbnails on the right-hand side, I'm going to go straight down to page 8. And we can see here, this is some of the signature information that's needed. In the left-hand corner, you can see it's my name, Elaine Pakes, and everything below this is in yellow. So everything I drag and drop now onto the document is going to stay yellow, and that's the things that are relevant to me when I send it through as DocuSign. From this, as you can see, we've actually skipped over a few other things that Avi walked through. We can get quite technical with checkboxes, drop-downs, text fields. We can also make some fields mandatory. So if we'd like some people to not move on or complete the document until that's filled out, it might be options. We might not want to give anybody options, but the whole document is completely flexible to however you want this to be delivered. From the left-hand corner, I'm also going to now change the name to Joe Smith, and you'll see everything's turned to blue. So I'm going to drag and drop everything here, and this will be everything that's now only relevant to Joe Smith. Just add the title, and we'll add his name. So it's as simple as that. There's no configuration, there's no coding, there's no extravagant technical side of this. It's very simply drag and drop. We could even do it to the point, if you're using the same template over and over again, all of these fields can be pre-populated, all of the text boxes can be ready, all of the drag and drops. So we wouldn't even have to enter this page that I brought you onto. We just click send template and send it straight out to that person. So I'm now clicking send in the top right hand corner. It's acknowledged that I am one of the signers here. So it's saying, do you want to sign this document now? It obviously knows I'm Elaine Pakes, that is what I've logged in as, and it's going to ask me to sign the document. So I just click sign now, and I'm going to continue through. Obviously, I'm going to read this very thoroughly and take it page by page and bullet point by bullet point, but I can also use these thumbnails on the left-hand side, which will take me down to the relevant things that need signing. From a DocuSign, you can sign with your finger, you could sign with a pen, you can upload a personal signature, or you can use a pre-edited one by DocuSign. It's completely up to you, however you want to sign the document. And you can see this information below has already been pre-populated. So that's because I filled it out earlier on the very first screen that I walked you through. And also it picks up my job title because obviously they recognize who I am and that I've signed this before. So from this, I'm going to go to finish, but Joe Smith still hasn't signed that document. So I'm just going to flip over into Joe Smith's email inbox, and you can see here he's received an email via DocuSign from Elaine Pakes. As I said before, it can completely be branded to any colors or logos that you should want. So for example, this could be red, it could be orange, however you want to position, however you want to send out your DocuSign, it's completely up to you. And I'm going to click review document. You'll see that DocuSign isn't sent as an attachment, but it's actually sent as a link through to our secure website. This is because attachments actually aren't safe and they're not secure. So we want to make sure that everyone knows that it's not attached to the document. So this is the look and feel now as Joe Smith. It's very similar. I'm going to go all the way down to the signature side, and you can see that I have already signed it. So this will update in real time. As Joe signs this, all of his information is also pre-populated because he's used the DocuSign system before. And then we're going to click finish for Joe. From that, I'm literally very quickly going to jump back into the DocuSign that we originally sent the document from. And as this loads now, you should see that we have a completed document. We can see in real time that both Elaine Pakes and Joe Smith have signed the documentation. We can see where it was signed, the date, the time, and we can even go a little bit more in depth with that information. So we can see who viewed it, when it was viewed, when it was signed. One of the biggest things with GDPR is acknowledgement of consent and clear consent. And obviously DocuSign gives that timeline and that time frame to show that when you attained it or obtained it. and just feedback, so you've got the proof to make sure that everybody knows when the document was signed and that it was safely and securely completed. So Mike, if we can just quickly pop back to the presentation, and I will flick to my last slide. One more slide. Perfect, thank you. And then finally, you can see there's a reporting aspect to DocuSign. So if you have tens of suppliers, even hundreds of suppliers, as Avi was saying, it could be 10, 15 one event, it could be 10, 15 another event. And DocuSign has a whole reporting structure where you're able to see the status of each document, who signed it, the date it was signed, and the activity that's been completed on that document. From this, we're able to track it, make sure that everybody's in line, compliant, and meeting the aspects of GDPR. And then from that, we can know securely moving forward that everybody is in line. That is it from me. I hope that was a helpful demonstration. The last thing I would add, we also have a separate feature called bulk send, which will allow you to upload multiple people, up to 1,000 every hour, to be able to send that document out to multiple people, so you don't have to recreate the demonstration that I just walked everybody through. But there's obviously some nuances with a product that, dependent on what is necessary for you or what your requirements are, that we can definitely help with working with FileOM.